Hello and welcome. It is Wednesday, so that means it is time for Voorhees Tiger Vision. This is episode 20. Welcome to the He's, and we're here with Coach. This time, a little bit a different look. We are here with assistant coach, Coach James Williams. Coach, how you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm good. What's going on? How is Tiger Vision, Tiger Land? How y'all doing out there? Doing well, doing well.
Yeah, man. We couldn't wait for this to happen. We knew, Huff and I have been talking about this for a little minute. So, but it's great to have you on. I think this is going to be a great episode. You and I have kind of gotten a chance to get to know each other over, a long period of time, but it's great for all the listeners, all the viewers to be able to get a chance to know the full staff, man. They've
Yeah,
heard some of the stories and all that
yes.
stuff, but now they really get it in full effect, man.
Oh no, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. Just being on the show, and I've been, watching. Even when I was, at my last school, watching Huff, to be able to serve and support this program the way I do is it's just been amazing, man. It's been a crazy ride, but it's definitely been a ride that you've definitely seen the impact that we've made here in little old Denmark, as we like to say, and trying to make splashes wherever we go. So it's been a real fun. I've learned a lot about myself. Learned a lot about team building and program building at the college level. So I'm thankful that my boss, who's traveling right now, supporting the recruiting. I'm glad that he thought enough for me to be able to continue to show even in his absence. So that says a lot about what he thinks about me. So I don't want to drop the ball.
For sure. Hey, and I don't either because I know he's listening. I know he's
Yes.
watching. So
Oh, he already texted in. He already
yeah.
texted in. I'm surprised I didn't get no detailed, organized things and stuff I should not say and should say. I didn't get that today. So, I'm coming through my mind like, hey, what would Huff do? You know, that's
For sure. And one thing for sure, he's always prepared because I did get some detailed creative stuff.
yes.
He's always prepared. But yeah, Huff, if you taking notes on the show, I'm gonna do a good job. I'm gonna do a good job today. Um, but yeah, we're gonna get into all the details, man. Like we're gonna really dive into background coach. We're gonna, get into what makes you tick, what your role is in the program and how things are going. Um, for sure, brother. Love you too, man. Um, we're gonna get into all of that. But first and foremost, I want to check in with the team. Uh, the tryout period, if there was one, all of that stuff is over with. We're
Yeah,
finalized. We have a roster. We have a team. Let's talk about this for a little bit.
yeah. So what's that? That's six across and three down. So
It's a lot of guys, right?
we have a big team. But the crazy thing is, everybody that you see on that graphic is going to contribute some way, somehow, this season, and they're going to do it in a multitude of ways. I would hope that everybody who's looking at this roster, um, those who are scouting us, we're going to be a little different. So if you played us last year and you think that we're the same team that we were, you're going to be mistaken. Um, I think what we've done across the board is be able to give a coach the opportunity to have problems on game day trying to figure out which lineup to go with against different teams, or what strategy. So we've given ourselves a lot of room that we didn't have last year. I mean, our bench is deep, of course, with that many guys, but to be able to, if a guy doesn't have it on a certain night, to be able to pull from somebody who we know what we can insert in, and they'll be just as competent as the person that they may be subbing in for, or even starting for in an event of injury or with this crazy COVID stuff. It's awesome, and it's crazy to see in practice. We got three teams that we literally put out there, and like we was talking before the show, the competitiveness. You're competing against somebody who could take your spot, so you're showing up extra early. Like you said, the tryout period is over. We start practice at 6 o'clock, but practice doesn't just start at 6. We start stretching at 5:45. But guess what? There are guys that are coming in the gym at 5:10 and they're getting full sweat workouts from like 5:10 to 5:45 when Coach O gets us stretched. They're getting full blown shooting workouts at 5:10 in the morning. And so when you have that kind of drive and you got that kind of energy, it's infectious because it's not just one guy. I purposely come in behind coach. You know, uh, I've tried to stay ahead of him and beat him, but I realize that no matter what time this man goes to bed, I walk outside and I see his car going like dag. So I just like, you know what? It's not even gonna try. So my goal is to be in between 5:15 and 5:20. I get the manager squared away, and I walk in the gym and you can hear shoes screeching, balls bouncing, and these guys that have been here with him, that are waiting on him to come open the gym because he's in the gym at 5:05 at the latest. So that type of energy it's infectious, and it helps us in practice. It shows in practice. Like you come watch us practice, guys are competing at 6:05. It's a competition. It's blue, white, blue, or blue, white skins, and we mix the teams up. It's some veterans with some young guys. It's some team full of young guys, but the key denominator of all that is everybody works. Everybody's putting in the work. So
I love it. One thing, and I'll put the roster back up here, the official roster. First things first, congratulations to all these young men. These are young men that uh, took care of business. Number one, academically have taken care of business, have athletically done whatever they need to do to take care of business, to be accepted, to be recruited, to be a part of this basketball team. So first and foremost, congratulations to these guys. But one thing that I do notice that is a little different from last year, I see 6'8", 6'7", 6'6", 6'6", 6'5", 6'5", 6'5", 6'6". Like I'm seeing a little more size and length
right.
and athleticism on that roster. Just talk about what you've seen early on, with that being the case this year.
To be honest, they actually today was probably today's practice. They were the drivers of practice. Our bigs that we like to call them. And the thing that we've done across the board is we said we wanted to get taller. We wanted to have more presence at the rim. But I think the biggest thing that we've done is we've gotten longer. We've gotten longer. If you look, Omari Joseph, who's a transfer from Valdosta, who's a sophomore, he's 6'6", but he's got a 7-foot wingspan.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So imagine his
Yeah.
wall up. Imagine and you got Fred Spells, who's 6'7" and still growing. It's number 2 shot blocker as a junior in high school 2 years ago, and last year averaged 6.9 blocks a game. And you got a chance to see him at elite camp. He enjoys literally trying to go after shots. So one of the things that we struggled with last year was guys getting to the rim and finishing at the rim. And so we made it an effort, and it's another effort for us in this recruiting period for us to get, some length and also athleticism at the rim to where you're not just going to get paint. If you're going to get into the paint, it's going to be difficult. And then, you look at Troy McCant, who came to us from Brooklyn Case here in South Carolina. He was another hidden gem that kind of came into our lap, and he's been a pleasant surprise. And the crazy thing, we talked about this before the show, is these guys, their transition from offense to defense helps the guards. If they make a mistake on offense, they're sprinting back on defense to create problems in transition situations. How many times we've watched basketball all summer and in high school, that big doesn't change floors very well, and teams are just getting layups at the rim. Well, we make a mistake, you're going to see a 6'7", 7-foot wingspan guy who's, you think you're going to have an easy layup, who's going to wall up and meet you at the rim. It's not such an easy layup anymore. And so for us, and the way we pressure the basketball in the half court helps us. It helps us now. It gives us another advantage that we didn't have last year. And then, like I said earlier, our matchups, you can't put 7-footers, 6'10", 6'8", 6'9" guys on the floor and we can't match up, or we're having to do some type of scheme, in our planning to be able to deny the post, front the post, or stack the post, or box the post, or however we try to do it. Now we can play one-on-one defense, and we can compete, and not have to have so many schemes and we're just running our regular stuff, which we do in practice. So that helps out a whole lot. And they're great kids, man. We just have good kids. Like they're great guys, and that makes it that much better. Just having good kids.
For sure, for sure. I absolutely love what this team is looking like, and their work ethic and how they speak to each other. That's one thing that I kind of noticed early on as well. These guys are ready to get after it, so
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what everything looks like. Uh, we introducing the roster, and now we are the time that we've all kind of been waiting for is when can we see him on the court? When can we see him on the court? Well, now practice has officially started.
Yep. Yep.
Um, I would ask if you guys are doing open practice or closed practice, but it happens so early in the morning that I feel like if you're able to make it that early, then you should be able to watch. But what's
Oh
the
yeah.
official rule?
Yeah. Practices are open. We practice at 6 a.m. I mean, we get into our circle, but we start stretching at 5:45. Coach, I mean, on the dot. 15 minutes on the clock. Once 5:45 hits, that clock counts down. Coach Huff comes in about 12 to 13 minutes before. We'll do a team stretch. They'll do some mindfulness where we'll visualize what's going to happen in practice. Coach O does a great job with the mental aspect before these guys get prepared for practice. We're trying to shake cobwebs. I'm the type, I post videos on Instagram. The guys are stretching. I'll crack jokes. It's early, so I try to keep it light. That early in the morning. But by 6 o'clock, guys are locked in. They're locked in, and we're going full tilt. And by 6:20, by 6:20, it's gonna be some trash talking. It's gonna be some consequences for losing the drill by about 6:20 in practice. We 20 minutes, get your legs loose. But 20 minutes on to the end of practice, guys are, itching for opportunities to go against each other within the context of concepts of what we're doing. And like I said, early on for us, things are, we're just trying to get the guys used to the pace. And Coach Huff keeps our practices efficient. We flow. So, it's fun. It's fun. It's very fun.
Have we seen any heavy ropes or weighted jump ropes or the towels having to roll across the floor? I know that's how specialty.
The managers. That's the first thing they pull out. So you got the weighted ropes, the lime green, neon green weighted ropes, and then we got the step ups, and then we got the 11 seconds on the line. So if you lose a competition, our teams are kind of big. So, you might have 5 on, we got 6 weighted ropes. So you got 6 on the weighted ropes, and you might have 2 doing step ups for 30 seconds. But that weighted rope for 30 seconds is what happens if you lose a drill. And so these guys, they don't want to lose drills. Or you on the line, you got to do 2 down and backs and 11, or you got to do a down and back and 11. So, there's a consequence for losing a drill. But at the same time, it's super competitive, but guys understand that's what it is, especially here early on. It's just getting their bodies used, especially our freshmen. Getting their bodies used to constantly, because you got to bring it every day. Coach talks about it. One of our 4 alignments, as Coach will say, is enthusiasm. And one of the things that we tell recruits when they come on a visit here and we talk about our program is you got to bring the juice. Because you imagine having juice every morning at 6 o'clock. You got to do that every morning at 6, and there's no days off. There's 18 guys on the roster. How can you have a bad day? So you got to lock in even when it hurts. You got to lock in, you got to compete, and you got to be smart about how you're competing. So it's fun. Shout out to Coach O.
Shout out to Coach O for sure, man. Hey, Coach, I'm still saying, Coach O, that you still got a little juice left in them legs, man. Like I saw you sliding in front of guys, cutting guys off at the camp. I still feel like it's some juice. I feel like you can give a team 10 minutes, Coach. I feel that way. 10 quality minutes off the bench.
That opening video is all Coach O. He does all our video stuff. So if people see anything video that we do, Coach O, and I will give him this, Madre. He's gonna say it. He has officially become the white Spike Lee.
He is. And Coach, I gotta make the phone call after the show. We gotta talk. I got some projects that I could use some help with, man. Like we gotta talk, Coach. I don't want to pull you away from the staff too much, but definitely could use some of the white Spike Lee's help on a couple of other projects as well. I like the fact that you guys are working and being able to have some fun. Um, but I love this graphic. How are the freshmen adjusting to 1% better every day and the work and
Woo.
getting it out of the mud? How's everybody adjusting to that?
Physically, they probably are in a little bit of pain. Uh, Mentally, we got veterans that are helping them through this process, especially on the floor. Everything is happening faster than what they thought, you know. And I'll say this to anybody who's listening, who has a high school senior who's getting ready to transition to college, you have no idea what it's going to be like. Um, those first 2 weeks, it's an adjustment period. And so if you look throughout the course of a year, freshmen usually hit a wall around mid-season. I mean, we start the season earlier than they do in high school. We play more games than they do, so it just takes a little bit for their bodies to adjust to like I said, bringing it every day. And our freshmen are no different. We pulled them off to the side today. We pulled all our freshmen. We talked to them. We asked them how they was doing. Everybody was like, physically, I'm sore, hurt. But the good thing about this group, Marjorie, I'll say this is we have some guys that you can't tell if they went 0 for 30 in practice or they hit every shot they made. They're here to work.
Mm,
Their disposition is, coach, we understood when you told us that that you wanted us to come here. We understood when we made the decision to come here that this was going to be a period, where we were going to have to adjust more mentally than physically. Like our bodies would get to it, but we have guys who have some strong-willed mental guys. And that, I think that's a testament to some of the parents that we have that we brought with us here to Voorhees. We have kids who had some life situations, happen to them, but their will and their determination is, I haven't seen any group like this before. And I've been around some college freshmen, in my time, and they understood there was going to be adjustment to it, a period to it, and they're fighting through. They're fighting through, and they're still competing. And I think we talked about this offline. They're competing. They're making mistakes, and we talk about this in our meetings. They're making mistakes, but they're making mistakes fast. Like I said, and it's not just, I talked about the bigs, but our freshmen, they make a mistake on offense, they're sprinting back on defense to try to get a strip or a steal for a guy who's making a layup. And for us, when we're sitting there talking, the potential you can see, we're just like, we're patient. It's gonna happen. I guarantee if you come watch us now, if you look at practice October 15th or 16th, it's gonna look up. They're gonna adjust. And I think that's a testament to the bridge that we have. It's a bridge. We got the vets, and then we got our freshmen. So it's been cool to watch them, and they're gelled. They're together. They're together probably more than they got. It's like eight. It's seven. We got seven of them. Five of them are in the same class. With the same schedule. So they're around each other. So they're talking to each other. They're communicating. This is a big class, and this is the expectations they understand. And they got a leader. We got guys who are coming out as leaders, but for the most part, man, their will and determination has been pretty impressive.
we talked about that a lot. Just the challenges of last season of guys not being able to be together. Not that they didn't want to be together,
Right,
but COVID interfered with guys being able to be together,
right,
even while wearing masks or
right.
any of that. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Um, how how much different, even though it's early on, right? How
Right.
much different are things so far this year with being able to have some sense of togetherness or being able to get guys together in groups and things like that? How, are you starting to see that
Yeah.
already
Well,
from some of the guys?
shout out to our nurse. She does an amazing job with COVID. We have a less than 2% infection rate here on campus. Um,
Awesome.
for a campus that's back with all the dorms being full. So we do an amazing job, and they can't be in the room with no more than their roommate. So what you hear are stories of guys being out in the parking lot, after hours, or the freshmen go over. Bowie talked about this with us. they go over and they get snacks or they just talk. Uh, the difference probably is the size. Last year it was just Zeke, Zach, and Mikhail, that were here on campus that were freshmen. Well, now you got 7 guys in the class, and you guys are all, 5 of them are business, sports management majors. One of them is a biology major. So so they're in the same class. They're just around each other a lot more. And and their workout groups. We have 3 workout groups that go throughout the day because of class schedules, but they're in the same workout groups, or there's no more than 2. And this is a testament to Coach O from a military background. They battle buddies. You'll never see a freshman by himself. There's always they go 2 by 2. They're 3. They're in threes. There's always, if you see one freshman, you're gonna see another, and they're in different combinations. And I think that's from what we've done here as an institution with handling COVID, and that's just also we talked about my boss being organized. They got a daily schedule. We got the schedule from September up until our first, up until November 1st, we got the schedule, and he probably has the whole year planned out with everything. It does. I know for a matter of fact he has the whole year planned out. But so they have things throughout the day. They got 6 hours of study hall. They got to do a week. So every freshman has to go to study hall, and so they have weights, and they got individuals, and then they got class, and then we practice at 6 a.m. So there's a lot of time that we have built in, but then it's just the natural camaraderie. You've been to Denmark. After about 8:30, there's nothing to eat. So if you get hungry, you get in the car. You'll go to Orangeburg and go to Cookout with the guys, or what I'm saying. You'll try to hit up the Hardee's or the McDonald's here in town real quick before things close. So they're spending a lot of time with each other, and part of that's planned, and part of that's just the natural progression when you got guys coming in from different places, but their common denominator is this program.
Coach, I need to know who I have to petition to get Teuton's open on Saturdays, or at least just the Saturdays when I come.
I'll get you the owner's number, and you could probably personally call them, and they'll set something up for you. That's how businesses are down here.
We were having that conversation on the way up here, and they were asking, well, Coach, what restaurants and stuff like is going on? We're having those conversations. I was like, no, I mean, yeah, these are restaurants, but like, who owns it.
Right. Definitely don't own it.
No, yeah, this is definitely like somebody's mom is back here cooking.
And they can tell you a story or two about somebody in town who did, what back when, and it's a very linked, what I call a linked community. It's very linked in that regard. So.
Yeah, definitely have that number though for me to Teutons. I do just want to say, hey, please, I'll put some extra things in, whatever they need. I just, when I come down on a Saturday, I want to be able to get connected, get hooked up.
That's no problem at all. I got you. I got to put you on a new restaurant too, Fat Boy Magic. They opened up.
I love the name.
Yeah. Fat Boy Magic. So I got, when you in town, I know him like we
my man.
We communicated. So
my man. I think I went to Cliff Seafood.
Cliff. Well, I put Huff on that. But the thing about the assistant coach or the head coach, when the head coach does something, it's magnified. Huff just has to call and say, I need fried scallops. And they be like, this coach? All right, we'll have your meal ready. They already know his voice. He just shows up and it's there. It's done. They don't even coach. That's how they know, So I put him on, but Cliff's is real good. Cliff's is a spot, though.
Huff, you got to let me know what your order is, man. The next time I go to Cliff's, I'll bring you something back.
Oh, I can tell you fried scallops and the seafood bag, the fried scallops and the fried shrimp basket.
It's a great assistant. Always knows, man.
They'll get a large. They make their own cocktail sauce, so that cocktail sauce is good. But he'll get the scallops and the fried shrimp basket.
I should have called you while I was there, Jay, because we remembered to bring Huff some smart water when I came for the camp. So I remember to buy him a smart water, but I should have called. I should have known to call you. And make sure that I knew what his order was.
You in town, and it's tomorrow's Thursday, so he'll be open. If you come Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they might be open Sunday sometimes, but yeah, I got you.
We'll connect, no doubt.
I'll have you some scallops and some shrimp ready. They do it well. And they got more stuff. I'm gonna try the steak next time I go because I've been wanting to. Ain't no steakhouse, but I talked to a couple of local people and they was like his steak is supreme.
We got to start running some commercials on the show for these places. We really do. We talk about the food so often in Denmark, but this is the thing: people don't understand why it's so good.
Right.
Like I had a kid in the car when we were coming for the elite camp. We stopped at Cliff Seafood. The kid ordered just a fish sandwich. He was like, "I'm just gonna, get something in my stomach, but I don't want to eat heavy." He
Right.
ordered a fish sandwich. We get in the car. He opens it. He starts eating. I get down the road, just a little piece, and the next thing I know, the kid is licking his fingers. The
It's
sandwich
gone.
is gone.
It's gone.
And I looked over. I said, "Oh, so it was pretty good, Coach. This is real."
Listen, Mr. Cliff come out and talk to you. His wife, him and his wife. That's the thing about being like in towns like this. The people that live and have businesses in this community, they'll come out and talk to you. And I stay geared up, so I'm always in Voorhees blue or Voorhees black shirt, and it's like, they'll communicate and they'll talk with you, and you'll find out some interesting things. But just building that community, and now they're like, hey, we'll do a team meal for you. We just want to connect. Thank you for supporting our business, and that's just from us. Trying to find a good place to eat every now and then. That's not, the cat. I eat in the caf sometimes, but it's not the calf or a fast food spot. So it's pretty. The local spots are good when you go to them when they're open. They're good.
Really good food. I agree. Um, Coach, I do have to talking about me getting back up. I definitely have to come back when the ring ceremony happens. Do we know when what
Homecoming,
date? Homecoming.
homecoming. Yes,
Oh yeah.
November 4th. I'm gonna say. Make sure I'm gonna make sure I get this right.
I thought you were just about to announce it being on my birthday.
Hold on, let me tell you.
Could be an excellent birthday present to me to see the
Oh, it's
ring
November
ceremony
13th. We play Clinton College.
the day before.
Yes, your birthday's on the 14th.
Yeah,
Yeah,
14th. I'll be
November
42.
13th. We play Clinton College homecoming. So and we were just told yesterday by our president that it's going to be limited fans
Mm.
inside, but they're going to do something special for the people outside. So homecomings outside homecoming is 100% a go. Just inside the building, they'll do the COVID protocols, but they're going to do something special for the people that can't get inside. So they'll have an opportunity to see the game. So our president, our 10th president, Dr. Hopkins, is a very progressive man, and he he said homecoming is still a go. So for those who are listening, November 13th that week we play Clinton College, and it's going to be something special. We'll do the ring ceremony. A couple of guys that got some plaques from all conference and stuff. They'll get recognized that night too as well. So it's gonna be special. It's gonna be special. Bowie is already super excited about getting his ring. I wear it every now and then, but he's really super excited about getting his. So the guys are gonna be excited.
I love it. I love it. And Clinton County, y'all are in trouble. Y'all in trouble because this has been a long time coming. It's been something that we've been waiting to do. Um, so I do want to talk as we kind of been talking about COVID a little bit, its impact on the season last season. Um, Not only did we had to go through that, we talk about it a lot, but let's start to kind of talk about your impact and your introduction to the season because you started the year um, at one place and ended the year with us at Voorhees,
Yeah,
um, and had an interesting even first day
yeah.
at Voorhees. Let's kind of talk about that and how we got
My
here.
my first day at Voorhees, everybody who's worked for Coach Huff probably had the same story. So I'm just one of the numerous amazing coaches who who've went through this process. So last year, 2020, as before July, I was a head men's basketball coach at Drew Charter School. Shout out to Drew Charter School in Atlanta. They gave me an opportunity to become a head coach after my time at Norcross, and it was an amazing 3 years to kind of shifted that program in a different direction and elevated a little bit. And so probably July of last year of 2020, the assistant coach Edward Newton took over at Russ College, which was his alma mater. And I had seen it on Hoop Dirt, just kind of like I perused Hoop Dirt. College has always been a dream, being a college coach, but I wanted to like solidify myself as a high school coach, and wanted to get my respect as somebody who was more than a solid. I feel like I'm one of the best. I'm gonna get my Bryce moment. I feel like I'm one of the best coaches. I was one of the best coaches in Georgia. I felt like that, um, and what we did at Drew, I thought was phenomenal. And to see the success that they've had even after I left was a testament to what I wanted to do when I got there. And I told myself I wanted to leave the program better than what I got it. And so for when the opportunity at Russ College came up, it was a no-brainer, and that no-brainer was my relationship with Christ, first and foremost, and the second was Coach Huff. He was the first person I called, when I seen the position. And the thing that he said to me was, he told me to pray, which is what Coach Huff is going to tell you all the time. But he said, if God wants it to be a yes, it's a yes. If he wants it to be a no, it's a no. So it wasn't something that I was looking for because we were getting ready to make a run at Drew. And I interviewed and I got hired. He told me to come on down to Holly Springs, Mississippi. So, after talking with my family, I got the okay from them because, I'm a dedicated father. I love my son. Shout out to him if he's listening. Deuce is what we call him. And, had a conversation with his mother. And she was like, yeah, go for it, because she known that this was a dream of mine. And I went to Mississippi. All the while, Huff had been, talking to me and, just and then found out that he got the position, here at Voorhees. And so I had made plans. I was like, hey, I'm gonna do a year here at Rust, and I'm gonna come back east, just because I wanted to be closer to my son. After having gotten there, I realized I didn't want to be that far away from him. And so it just, I was like, hey, I'm gonna do a year here. I'm gonna give Coach Newton. Shout out to Coach Newton, by the way. Took me sight unseen after some references from some people out there who said some good things about me, and I appreciated that. And I went to Rust, and I ended up getting COVID in November. And things happened, and they weren't going to allow me to coach, and I told them, in all honesty, I didn't leave high school. I didn't leave a good situation. I had a great situation at Drew, but I had a great situation.
I want to say this one thing because James probably won't say it. I did not know Drew Charter existed until you became the coach and started winning games against teams that
wasn't supposed to be
on paper you weren't supposed to be.
Right.
And out of nowhere, I'm at Hoops Given or the other event that was run at Holy, and it's the Big South Shootout, things like that. And we're like, holy smokes, wait, who? Drew Chart. Okay. We got to go watch this team. We got to go watch this team. We got to go see what's going on. And you're winning games against teams that we didn't think you were supposed to beat. And you're beating them consistently. And we all had to figure out who Drew Charter was and where they were located.
And the thing is, I bet on myself, because I was at Norcross for 3 years, and that was one of the greatest coaching experiences that I could have ever got. Anybody who knows anything about Georgia high school basketball, the name Norcross. I love Coach Mack to death. He took a chance on me, and it's just all people who took chances on an unknown. Shout out to my guy Kareem Horton, who he connected me to Coach Mack because he was an assistant coach at the time. Coach Mack, took a chance on me. I was a lot of people don't know I was an interim. I tell this story. Let me get to the Huff situation. I was interim head coach at Kingsridge Christian Academy.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I coached 50 Cent's son when he was there. Marquise Jackson, when Marquise Jackson was at Kingsridge, I coached him. Well, if you know anything about Alpharetta, Kingsridge is right next to St. Francis, where Coach Huff was. So my first actual encounter with Coach Huff was going against Coach Huff. I tell this story often. Go ahead.
That's crazy because
I tell this story often too. I tell this story often to and I told Coach Huff this. So this is before I knew who Malik Beasley was. Like everybody knew St. Francis. You knew who the guys were. You knew Kaiser, right?
Yes.
and you knew Kobe. I didn't have a clue who Malik Beasley was at the time. Of course, this is my first like opportunity at being a head coach or whatever. I come in, that whole kind of lead up to the St. Francis game. I'm thinking I'm some kind of young guru. I think trying on too. Okay, we're gonna focus on Kobe and Kaiser, and we're gonna see if we can jump this thing up and see if we can keep it close. Just that was always my thing. I knew I didn't have the racehorses that he had, to compete. But like we're gonna muck it up. And I told my guys, if you keep me within 10 in the fourth quarter, I'm gonna do what I need to do as a coach to get us, an opportunity to win the game. And I believe that. And I told that to Huff. If we're close at the end of a game off a team that I scouted, I'm gonna find a way to get us to the edge. That's what I'm supposed to bring to the table, right? So we get in the game and we're doing well, and all of a sudden, I can't. Malik might have been number 5. McKinley was 5 or 25. He was one of the. All of a sudden, guys started going off. I'm like, who is this? We're in the game at first, and he just takes over, and we end up losing by like 25, 30. And I go back and I think about this story, and I tell her this story. It's like I thought I had him. You know what I'm saying? I thought I had him, but of course, he had 3 NBA guys.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And of course, you kind of learn, you learn the hard way. But that was my introduction to Coach Huff, and ever since that moment, I followed him. It was just something about him, and I followed him, and I was just number 5. Yeah, I was just watching him. So I always sat back from afar, and then during the COVID year, we actually got closer because of all the Zooms. When schools were let out, and what he did with the Minority Coaches Association of Georgia, and I wanted to just be a part of it. And so I got in on the Zoom. So we had been communicating all last year, even when he was taking a job. And so I knew what he was dealing with here. And we would talk. I would, just call him and encourage him, and and I would tell him what's going on in Mississippi. And then things didn't work out in Mississippi, and I resigned like January 1st because we were coming back to school. They was like, hey, you're not going to be able to coach. So I was like, I didn't come to Mississippi to work at the university. I came to be I wanted to be a college basketball coach. And so a situation happened here where it didn't work out with the assistant that he was going to have. And I said, Huff, I'm coming. He didn't believe me. He was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to see you in March, April. You know what I'm saying? When school's out and you're going to be here. Yeah, we're going to do, we're going to do it. I said, nah, I'm coming. So I showed up, and they had already started. They had moved in January 4th, January 5th. They started practicing. First game was like January 12th. So I spent a little time with my son, and I drove down here on January 7th. I thought I was getting here early. Of course, remember, we start practice at 6. So I got here maybe a little bit after 6. They were already in the middle of practice. Not in the middle, but they was at the beginning part of practice. I'm thinking I'm going to get here early to impress them. They was already sweating and getting ready to go. And he was like, how you have your circle. And he was like, hey, I'm going to introduce you. And I started work that first day. I thought I was going to come and observe. I thought I was going to just watch. I thought I'm going to take notes. You kind of see players at the end of practice going to the office like, yeah, this number 21, this number 3. He put me right in. And then at the end of practice, he gave me a polo and told me, yeah, he said, welcome to Voorhees. And I was like, all right, now I haven't left. And it's been, it was 2 dudes. I tell people this. It was Kim Rivers at Shiloh,
and
it was Huff. Those are 2 guys that I wanted to work with. And this is no slight to Coach Mack. I love Coach Mack. I love that man. Like, I have so much respect for him. Anybody who knows, I will. As you can see back there, in the back there, I got my Norcross, state championship that we lost, and I had an amazing opportunity there. But it's something to be said about working for a black man who takes these young guys and is more than just basketball. And I wanted to experience that in my career. And I get to do that here, especially at HBCU, because I didn't take the HBCU route coming out of high school. Could have went to Morris Brown, and I chose to go, to West Virginia. But being here has been Coach Huff has taught me so much in the short time that we have been together, but I've been learning so much from him from afar for so long. He doesn't even know, how much respect. And I told him, when I came here, I said, Coach Huff, I'm putting my career in your hands. I told him what my dream was. He knows I desire to be a head coach, but I also told him, man, if I'm your right-hand man for the rest of my career, I'm good. I'm good.
Yep.
So I don't dream or lust after another job. Like my goal is to be the best assistant coach in the country. You know, just like I want to be the best head coach in the country. My goal is to be the best assistant, and that's what I do. You know, we talked about like what's my role. My role here is to serve at the pleasure of Coach Huff. I'm his consigliere. Whatever needed to be done, I do it. You know,
Yes.
that's what I do here. And there's certain things that I take pride in. You know, scouting. I take pride in my ability to break down a team. Actually, after this, I'm not going home. We got a film session with the point guards. You know, point guards get pizza. We're gonna have pizza and wings, and we're gonna start breaking down Truett McConnell, Oakwood, and South Florida. Those are my next three targets. And for me, man, that's, you know, me coming here was a no-brainer. I knew that I wanted to work with him, and I knew I was going to come to start. I didn't know I was going to do it that fast, but it's all in God's timing, man. To me, man, working for him, like I said, I'm blessed. I'm blessed that I'm covered by a coach who not only cares about me, but allows me to do what I do, and has respect enough for me to listen to me. And people don't understand. Coach Huff is one of those guys where you tell him something, you don't think he's listening. I had to learn that early on. Like you say something, he's doing so much, you think he's not listening, and he does he implements what you suggested, and he was listening. So now we got a new coach. Shout out to my guy Austin Pinkett, who's a former player of his. Think about this. I work for a guy who took a new job, and he has two former players that played for him at Duluth transfer here. And then by God's grace, he gets another player that just came to school here who's now on our coaching staff. That's the type of man that I work for. Like somebody you don't see too many times where guys play for somebody and they want to go play for them somewhere else. But like, that's the type of guy that he is. You know, that's the character. So for me, it's like, yo, I have to, and I tell people this, they think I try to be 2 steps ahead of that man. It never works. But because he's always ahead of me. Like if I say, "Hey, did you?" He's like, "I already did it." but for me, I think about it as like I'm 2 steps ahead of another assistant coach who wouldn't even have thought of that.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that, and I sing his praises, and I know he's not that type of guy, man. But like,
He'll never
work
say
for
it.
a good dude, man. I work for just a good man.
Yeah,
Great man. Not a good
sure.
man. He's great. You know what I'm saying? We talk about good, better, best. I absolutely work for the best head coach in the country. I work for the best head coach in the country, and I'll put him against any head coach, any D1, D2, anybody. You know what I'm saying? And I told him, man, wherever you go, I really want to follow, but I know he's gonna be like, yo, you ready to go out on your own. But I told him, man, I trust my career in your hands. I'm not making a move without his blessing or his permission. You know what I'm saying? And I think, man, that submission, that type of submission, I'm only gonna be successful. So yeah, that's the story.
It's odd though. I feel the same way. Never worked for Huff particularly, but we met him at the same time, not even knowing. I met Huff just jumping into the basketball scene. I wanted to go watch games. I started watching. I jumped in, started watching. I think my first basketball game. Well, technically, my first basketball game in Georgia was I went to go see Lou Will. I lived over by South Gwinnett and went to go watch Lou Will. But then I kind of fell off from basketball, just working all that stuff. Jumped back in, and my next game was Hillgrove versus McEachern, just on a humbug, no kids, no program, just watching basketball. And then everybody starts telling me about Kobe. Man, you got to go. If you love basketball, you got to go see Kobe. You got to go see Kobe. I've always had a habit of sitting behind the bench just because I love to hear coaches talk to their kids. I love it. It was a place for me to learn. I went to probably more St. Francis games that year than any other year, partially because I love listening to Coach Huff deal with his team, but I could take my kids because they loved that St. Francis dunked the ball so much. So I know I didn't have to wait. Early on, right off the tip off, within the first couple possessions, they were going to get a dunk. My kids loved it. I could take them all the time. They never complained about driving all the way to Alpharetta to watch those games. So that was what it was. We were routinely at St. Francis games, and actually, I had to send Coach Huff a couple of pictures from me being in the stands while my kids were really
Watch
little,
it.
watching those games. But I would say that from that moment and following him before he and I were ever friends or anything like that, I was like, "Yep, that is a guy I would want you to play for.
Yeah,
That's the type of person that I want you to play
yeah,
for." Um, so that's great. One of the things that you brought up that I think you and Huff have a huge part in common is your faith. Let's
right.
kind of talk about how your faith and basketball kind of merge and how that works day to day.
Oh man, and I'm a super emotional guy, so my eyes got a little teary eyed talking about boss man like that because when you go through stuff with people, especially the journey that I traveled, it's an unorthodox journey, man. I wouldn't be here without Christ. Uh,
Mhm.
um, a lot of people don't know. So on my desk right here, every morning, I got my men's saying and I got my coach's Bible that I got from FCA. They sent that to me, so I make sure I get into my devotionals. But for me, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my faith. Like I wouldn't because I travel by it.
Mm.
So people ask you like, what is your 5-year goal? When I left Drew, I didn't expect to leave Drew. That was tough. When I left Norcross, I didn't expect to get Drew. When I got to Norcross, I didn't expect to get fired from Kingsridge after one season. We went 12-12. I thought I had some things cooking there. You know what I'm saying? So my journey as a coach has not been James. It's been all God. Every place that I've been, I didn't seek out to go.
Mm.
And even coming here, I was expecting to come here in April and May. I end up here in January, and we end up having the season that we were having. It's only by God's grace that I'm in this situation. And for those who know me, my mantra or I have it back here, James chapter 1. And every time you come to my office, it says, what are you producing? You know, um, when you go through perseverance of any kind, it creates in you a joy. I'm extremely happy about my journey, the ups and downs, the bad times, the good times. When I came here, I don't get paid. I don't get paid to be an assistant coach here. But the school loved me, and we talk about family. The school did a. I have a background. I have 2 master's degrees. I got one in special ed and one in project management. The school valued me enough to where I'm an academic success coach here. I teach a freshman career course. Um, I'm over the science department, science, health, and human services. So I actually teach a class. I'm on the academic success team here. The school afforded me the opportunity to create me a place here. And that was the leading of Coach Huff and our amazing AD, Miss Johnson. They seen value in me, and I think that my career and my journey is that people have seen my light, but that's only because of Christ. I tell people, man, I'm one of the chosen. That's why I have so much confidence
Mm.
in my ability. And I tell people, I'm not worried about if I never be another head coach again. Like I just told you, like I'm covered by a great man who's proven that he's gonna make sure that it's the best interest of me and my son. And my son loves Coach Huff. He says, you know, he see Coach Huff, he knows Coach Huff's name, and he
Yeah,
knows,
yeah.
that's Coach Huff. He's like, is that your boss? It's like, yeah, that's Coach Huff. Um, so you talk about faith, man. I wouldn't be here without it, and I can go on and on about all the scriptures that I use to be able to live my life. But it's, man, we don't talk this down here. Like Coach Huff don't just talk about all the acronyms. For those who know him, he's an English major, so he's got acronyms for everything. Family, grace, poor, love. He got acronyms for everything, right?
Yes.
We don't just talk it; we live it down here. Coming to Voorhees, I've understood why people come here and people love this place. It is something magic here. Think about this, Madre. We got 7 guys. We got a kid from Texas. We got a guy from New York. We got a couple guys from South Carolina. We got guys from Georgia that come to this little town with no fancy gym, no fancy weight room, no none of that stuff. And the only thing that I can tell people is why people come is because it's real. We love and we care for our guys, and we always talk about this, man. We care about 40 years, not 4. We want to come to your wedding. We want you to name babies after us. We want you to talk about, your first job, but that's indicative of Coach Huff. Next week, he's going to go to Adam Flagler's jersey retirement.
Yeah.
Still talks to Malik. Still talks to Josh Coleman. Like, if you talk, and you got guys here that played for him in high school that are here. I'm taking that blueprint wherever I go. Like, it's gonna be this is gonna be reproduced somewhere else.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? If I
For
get
sure.
the opportunity, I am reproducing what he's done here. It would be foolish of me not to do that, right? But just with my own spin and my own take. But we just share, like, we're like-minded. I share his values. I care about what he cares about. You know what I'm saying? And I won't do anything to this. Tiger Vision is his. I have the same vision that he has until it becomes my own. And I'm not ashamed or afraid to say that. I do. He knows that I want my own program, but at the same time, while I'm here in this place, we're gonna be Tiger Vision. It is. All the acronyms. I can tell you every last one of them. I can tell you what poor is. I can tell you what family is. I can tell you what grace is. I can spit out our pitch to recruits as if he's doing it, because that's my job. And I'm good at that. So, if I'm his little brother, I'm his mimic, I'll be that. But we've got a pretty successful track record so far. So I'm not gonna rock the boat, man, at all.
Well, hey, listen, one season, one conference championship. That's a heck of a way to get it going.
And to think about this, a full season with his preparation, teams are in trouble.
Yes.
With the way he prepares and the way that teams are in trouble. Teams are in trouble with the way we are not even that what we recruited. We're not past this. The way we're recruiting now. If people seen the guys that we want to come to Voorhees, you're gonna be like, how? What are they doing? What kind of money? What kind of bag are we providing? It's not, man. It's real. There's no magic, man. The formula is what we say is what we do, because we believe in him. We believe in what he sold us. We are drinking the Kool-Aid, and we're able to replicate that whenever we go on the road. So I tell people, and I'll tell you this: if you see me, you see in Coach Huff. I'm gonna be in gyms this weekend. I'm gonna be at the HBCU Elite checking out talent. You see me, you see him, and he's not just like this. He's right now recruiting. I'm here, and I think that's what should happen when you have your assistant coaches in a program, and that's what I fully believe. So.
And I think it's the difference and the reason why you guys have been so successful. I think, and from doing podcasting and doing the Hoops and Gems podcast, where we routinely interview coaches and talk about people's programs and things like that. Everyone kind of has their sales pitch, right? But there's a different energy talking to you guys about Voorhees. But the main difference is that when you come on campus to get under the hood, as my guy Dave would say, Dave Jones will always say, yeah, the car's nice, but let me lift the hood up and really take a look. And I've watched him examine people during an interview,
right.
And I can tell by sometimes his facial expressions when he knows that something that's being said isn't real.
Yeah.
But when you walk on campus at Voorhees, when you walk into that gym and you see that, wow, they really told the truth. This is real. This vision that they portrayed is actually the real thing.
Yeah.
This is exactly what they're doing. It's refreshing, right? And it, I don't know. It almost catches you off guard to the spot.
It's not perfect, and that's the crazy thing is it's not perfect, but it's progress.
Yes.
We're every day, man. When Coach say stack small wins, Madre, the first day practice was not as good as we had wanted to be. The second day, the guys got better. Today's practice, we walked out of there feeling a little better than we did yesterday. And guess what's going to happen tomorrow? Because, you know what I'm saying? And so even in practice, you come watch us, my voice is a real voice. Like, I ain't a paper assistant coach. I ain't just there to put on a polo. Coach Huff has given me accountability in certain areas for our team. When you see us travel, that's all me. hotels we stay at, where we eat. I have, he's giving me responsibilities of a director of operations. I don't mind because I'm a project manager, so I'm efficient like that, right? So he allows us to work in our skill set. We got a new assistant coach. I'm going to help this young man as much as I possibly can to give him tools to be able, where to stand on the floor, what to look for when you're watching things. He's given me so much freedom and ability that I don't have the title of associate head coach, but they throw that around at the, in the Division I level and stuff like that. Like, if you want to call me that, you can call me that. But like, I'm not no paper assistant coach. I get to do a job here, and it shows when my job is done well. And when I don't do a job well, I'll get a text, or I'll get an email from him about the job that I didn't do, and it's no problem at all. I'm like, all right, boss, I'll fix it. I'm gonna fix it, and it's gonna be right. And it's that level of accountability down the board. O's videos or O's video. If you look at O's initial video, O keeps getting better. Why? Because Coach Huff has a standard. He has a standard of what he wants for the videos. Our graphics are amazing.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Like, even our little young Austin gets in drills, and he's just as good as our guys that are playing on the floor. So he's giving him a real look at something that we want to show to them in a dummy action. He's showing it. Now, my job is to help him become the best assistant coach that he possibly can be in that regard. I get the freedom to be able to do that. And so that's why I say, like, man, my days are long. I get tasks to do, and I complete my tasks, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Man, I wouldn't want to go anywhere else, honestly, because I probably wouldn't be able to get to do the things that I get to do here. And like I said, when you see us, that's the competitive side of me. When you see us do the teams what we do, I just want y'all to know it's because I got 2 monitors, and I'm about to get a TV in here. My job is to take away what you do well, and I'm going to take it away. And I want to see what you're going to counter with, because I'm ready for your counter.
Talk that talk, coach. Talk that talk, coach. Hey, listen, I would feel differently about it if I hadn't already seen you do it.
I know.
But I've watched you do it. So I know that's not just talk. I've watched you do it. No, this has been fun, man. This has been a great time. I'm looking forward to a amazing year, a great season. I feel so great about what you guys have already accomplished, what's gonna be accomplished, and I feel the same way you do. A full summer to prepare, practices, team bonding, ability to really get around and that. Yeah. Oh man, like I'm chomping at the bit to watch you guys play.
And you said it best. And it's not like he hasn't done it at the other places that he's been, right? Like, the formula that he has created has worked. Yes. So it's almost like, for me, it's like, why wouldn't it work here? When you think about coming, why wouldn't it work here? He has a proven formula that has worked at other places, at all the levels that you can ask at. And he's still gaining knowledge about how to build this thing here. And to be at the ground floor of what we're doing, to be at the ground floor of what we did last year with what we had to deal with. I just ask people to pray for us. I pray over him every day, you know what I'm saying, because of what he's tasked with here and the expectations that we set for ourselves. They're lofty and they're high for a reason. There's a standard. But the crazy thing is, man, we work like dogs to make sure that it's not just talk. And I think that's what I would want to tell people. If you ask about what it is to working for Coach Huff, is you're going to work. You're going to work. You're going to learn. Wherever your next stop is, you're going to be one of the harder workers in this business. And that's what he's done. And it's not a task, man. Anybody who knows this, man, it's not a man of many words a lot of times, but you just want to make sure that you rise to the occasion, because you know he is. And like I said, if he's up at 5, I'm trying to get up before him, but you just can't do it. It's like one of those things. It's almost like that coach. I got the mama mentality. It's almost like he has that ingrained in him just from how he was raised and just everything. It's like that, man. Like you think you're going to beat him here to the gym, and he's already been here. He's done his 5 miles around the track already. He's sent 10 emails to different coaches. He's got contracts signed, and it's, and you like, man, I'm getting here early, and it's not early enough. And I think that type of work ethic, man, just kind of it keeps me hungry. I'm hungry. I am hungry. I'm out for my respect, but at the same time, man, I want people to realize that what we're building down here is going to be a powerhouse. You know, what people don't understand is we've been number 8 in wins out of all HBCUs for 10 years. We've got we're number 8 in wins of every level of HBCU. Voorhees. Why can't we be number 1? Why can't we be the signature, you know, brand of HBCU basketball? You know, why does it have to be North Carolina Central or Morehouse or, you know what I'm saying, or Florida or FAMU? Why can't it be Voorhees? And that's kind of how we work, man. We're working like dogs so that when it's just like I did at Drew. You know, you don't know about Voorhees, but we're working to the point where you one day you like, man, where did this program come from? And that's because of the head man at the top. He's not going to allow us to settle for just being 8. He's not going to allow it, man. He's not. And
there we go.
We appreciate you. I do want to say this. We appreciate you so much, man. What you do with your podcast and what you do with your brand, you know, we are big supporters. I watch even when I'm not on the show, you know, as people see me commenting in. I watch your show with Bryce and Medlock and Alfonso. I watch, you know, Dave. We thank you, man, because you're just as much a part of what we're doing here, you know, as Cam, who's an amazing tour guide for us, as Miss C, who does our fine dining, you know, on campus. Like, it's a family effort, and you are definitely a part of this family. And I want to say personally for me, man, thank you. And you know, anytime you need me to say anything or do anything, I hope that tonight I was let you know that I've been kind of, you know, I've been having mock interviews with Dick Vitale and all these people for a long, long time, man. And I'm ready. I'm always ready.
100% ready. Well, that I will say for sure. 100% ready. And I appreciate it, man. I absolutely appreciate it. It does. It feels like family, and I'm happy to be a part of it anyway, in any way I can. So,
can I give one shout out before we close?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to shout out my mom and my auntie and my nana. Like I was raised by all women, man, and I don't give them credit enough for the way that they brought me up and allowed me to be able to, you know, articulate and do what I love to do. And then last but not least, my son. That dude, man. If you see me this weekend, he's my recruiting buddy. So if you see me out with my son, please say hello to him. You know, he likes that he knows his daddy's a coach. And he'll be turning 5 on Monday. So he's hitting the big 5. So I'm super excited, man. I love that dude a lot, and he's the reason why I'm trying to be the best at what I can do. So I can, you know, help him, you know, be the best that he can be. He's the best part of me. So
enjoy it, my man. My son will be 18 years old this January. He'll be 18 years old. Wow. It happens so fast.
Yeah, that's what people say.
So fast, man. I'm telling you, enjoy it. It happens so fast. But yeah, I definitely appreciate it. We've had an amazing show. I appreciate the time and energy that you brought to it today. Definitely representing Voorhees College extremely well, as always. Oh wait, we bring Deuce likes dinosaurs?
Yeah, oh man, my son is like a archaeologist, man. He is every time, and he's 5. You think it's a name that he can't pronounce? He can name it. Like this dude is he's a savant with dinosaurs. He loves dinosaurs. So
man,
his birthday party would be a Power Ranger, but he's dino charged. Like anything dinosaur, he loves it. So yeah, that's my guy.
We gotta hook Deuce up, man. I gotta get Deuce hooked up, man. It's a dinosaur guy. I love this stage, by the way. Like that's the greatest thing in the world. Like I love that. Dinosaurs, cars, sports stuff. Like that was my favorite time.
I'm finding that out, man. Just connecting with him. Only thing is not basketball yet, but I'm okay with that. Like if he's, I think science is his goal. His thing. He's very into like STEM and stuff like that. So I'm excited about that more than anything else.
Got time. He'll be up imitating you coaching before you know it. Trust me. But that's our show for tonight. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys jumping on. Had a great audience on today. We love you. Be in contact. Here's what you got to do. There's a lot of news that's going to be coming from the Love of the Game network. Voorhees Tiger Vision is part of the Love of the Game network and the Love of the Game family. So here's what you need to do: go to YouTube, type in Love of the Game podcast, go to the Love of the Game podcast channel, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. The reason why you want to do that is because when the breaking news gets announced, right? Number one, you never want to miss an episode of
Right.
anything from the Love of the Game network. But when the breaking news gets announced, we want to make sure that we touch everybody. Um, we will have some news about introducing a new platform, new ways to watch, new ways to support, new partnerships. There are things that are coming that you definitely want to be a part of, and it would not happen without the support that you've already given us. So as we continue to grow and as we continue to build, we want you to continue to be a part of it. So please go to the Love of the Game network YouTube channel, subscribe, and turn those notifications on so that when we jump on to announce our big news, you'll be able to get that notification and join us in the celebration. So that's our show for tonight. We'll see you guys next week. Love you guys. Have a good night.
All right. Oh, and my Aunt Kalina. Hello.